You're watching the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series.
Beautiful day in Los Angeles. Temperature in the low to mid 60s as we approach kickoff. UCLA won the toss and deferred, so USC will receive the opening kickoff. No breeze at all in the stadium. Bright sunshiny day. Kaimi Fairbairn quite likely to produce a touchback. 65 of his 75 kickoffs this year have not been returned. This one might be returnable. It will be. Adoree Jackson out to the 20, and that's all. Where the Trojans will begin. Adarius Pickett made the tackle. We'll look back at the season for USC. They started 3-2. Steve Sarkisian dismissed his conduct deemed unacceptable for a USC head coach. Clay Helton took over, lost at Notre Dame, then won 4 straight, all in come-from-behind fashion before a 20-point loss last week at Oregon. The defense really struggled, particularly against the pass. Cody Kessler, the 3-year starter at quarterback, handed it off to Justin Davis, and he got buried for a loss of a yard by Kenny Young.
So you look at this team, Sean, and UCLA has a little bit of problem in stopping the run up the middle. Justin Davis bounced it outside that time, and again, where you can attack them on the ground, the Bruins, is up the gut.
They have struggled against the run, while USC has struggled to defend the pass. Kessler throws near side, incomplete, off the hand of Juju Smith-Schuster, and you saw him attempt to catch the ball with one hand. He is playing with a plate and 8 screws in his right hand. He broke his hand and had surgery on November 2nd, and it has really set him back.
Yeah, you know, the thing about him is that he's a competitor. He's tough, and as you said, 5 days later he's out playing. He's going to do anything he can do for his football team. He's such a threat, even with one hand.
Kessler on 3rd down and 11. Flushed from the pocket, low throw and incomplete, intended for Stephen Mitchell.
We talked about the pressure and how that offensive line and as a group have given up 30 sacks. Actually pretty good protection right there. And one thing you'd like to see is Cody Kessler is normally accurate on that throw, but as this game progresses, if he has a throwing lane, he can turn that into a running lane and get positive yards.
Chris Alvarado punt, a short punt. It took a good bounce for USC. Devin Fuller was the deep man, wound up getting away from it. And it rolls to a stop at the 33-yard line, a 48-yard punt. UCLA started 4-0, rose to number 7 in the AP poll. But the injuries started to pile up. They suffered back-to-back defeats at Arizona State, against Arizona State, and at Stanford. They've won 4 of their last 5. Josh Rosen has not thrown an interception in those 5 games while throwing for 311 yards per game. The true freshman takes the snap out of the shotgun. Paul Perkins out to the 37 for a gain of 4. Michael Hutchings made the tackle, the linebacker. 6'4", 210, outstanding size from nearby Manhattan Beach, California. Hasn't thrown an interception since October 15th, the 3rd quarter of that loss at Stanford. He throws across the middle, batted away and incomplete. Iman Marshall had the coverage.
Watching USC's defense, to me, they're committed to playing man-to-man against UCLA. Had a bunch of busts in the zone coverage, which cost them last week against Oregon. They feel like, Sean, they can match up man-to-man against this Bruin offense.
3rd down and 7. Trojans went 3 and out. The Bruins trying to avoid that. Rosen throws deep and incomplete. Intended for Devin Fuller. So both teams go 3 and out on the opening possession of the game.
It's a good job and a good game plan by Justin Wilcox. He feels that this Bruin offense doesn't have a lot of man beaters. That means they don't run a lot of bunch formations or pick routes.
Matt Mengel on the punt. Short kick. Takes a good bounce for him. Dory Jackson elected to pick it up, dangerously so. And they'll mark it out of bounds at the 28-yard line. 40-yard punt.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers.
This is the 85th meeting all time between UCLA and USC. The series record shows 82 previous meetings. USC had to vacate their wins in 04 and 05 due to NCAA sanctions. But UCLA has won the last 3 under Jim Mora since he became the head coach. The Bruins have not lost to their crosstown rival. Ronald Jones, the freshman, got 9, then got blasted by Jaleel Wadou.
Excellent job up front, and we told you they've been vulnerable with the Bruin defense up the gut. And Ronald Jones, one thing about him, he's a one-step guy, then goes north and south as they go tempo right now.
Jones has tremendous speed. They call him Rojo. He runs for a first down across the 42-yard line.
And when you see Ronald Jones, when he comes into the game, it's just a different speed than the other backs. They have very talented running backs, but Jones is special. He gets to and through the hole faster than most college running backs, and they've trusted him. As the season's progressed, they've started to give him more carries. 44 carries in the first 6 games, 78 in the last 5 games, partly to do with the fact that Coach Helton has decided to be a more physical, run-first football team since taking over as the interim head coach.
Yeah, production equals playing time, Todd. 6.78 yards per carry. And Coach Helton has committed to that run game and leads the Pac-12.
It's Khalil Rogers who went to the bench, and that's a big problem for USC. He is already their 3rd-string center, so here's Nico Falah, who's in at center. Jones again, a nice run across midfield. He got 9 more. Max Turk was their starting center at the beginning of the year in a preseason All-American. He went down midseason with a knee injury. Toa Lobendon moved from guard to center. He played a couple of games, then he went out with an injury. So Rogers was their 3rd center. Jones again chopped down by Jayon Brown. But he has a first down. Brown's become UCLA's leading tackler. Miles Jack, their best defensive player, injured his knee in the 3rd game of the year and decided to pack it in and get ready for the NFL.
Jayon Brown's done an outstanding job. And I'm just watching Nico Falah, Sean. Right now, he's doing a good job stepping in. He's pointing out where the mic is, and so far, he's 2 for 2 on getting his man.
Redshirt sophomore from Hermosa Beach here in Southern California. Plenty of movement around him. He never snapped the ball.
Delay of game defense, number 97, disconcerting signals. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Kenny Clark, one of the best defensive linemen in the country. Clay Helton was concerned yesterday, Chris, about Clark, and that's when he had Rogers as the center. Now Falah will have to deal with him as the 4th-string center in the game.
And one of the reasons was because they had trouble with that shotgun snap, and he's a presence and intimidating force over that center.
Cody Kessler out of the gun, handed the ball off to Dominic Davis, and he's yanked down to the 29 by the safety Jaleel Wadou. There's another true freshman, Davis, with blazing speed. He's from right here in Los Angeles.
Well, what they're doing is they're getting to the 2nd level of the defense without being touched, and that tells me that that offensive line in a downfield blocking for the Trojans, they're sustaining, and that's why they're able to get the positive yards in big chunks.
Problems again stopping the run for the UCLA defense, 83rd in the country entering today against the run. I formation now, the quick swing pass to Juju Smith-Schuster, and he hopped forward for a few. They'll mark him at the 27. A gain of 2. Marcus Rios, the cornerback, made a tackle.
A pretty solid job by Rios out there. I mean, that's a threat when you have Juju with the ball in his hands in space. He can put you on his highlight film in a hurry.
Smith-Schuster so frustrated by that broken hand. He's been playing with a soft cast. Justin Davis back in at running back. Randall Goforth up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
There's the adjustment by Tom Bradley, the Bruins defensive coordinator. If you're going to run inside, we're going to bring our safety Goforth up at the line of scrimmage and bring him on pressure. was able to shut that down at the line of scrimmage.
Trey Madden comes in as the running back now, a short yardage specialist. He's been bothered by a very sore bruised knee that kept him out of action the last 3 weeks. He'll probably only have a handful of snaps in short yardage and goal line today. He gets the swing pass, has running room, and has the first down. Just inside the 19, that's all he needed, where he got belted by Jayon Brown and Aaron Wallace.
It's a nice play call. Watch Juju Smith-Schuster coming in, and he's going to pick off the man right there. That should be offensive interference. He grabbed the linebacker who was responsible for the coverage.
And if he winds up finishing that block, even though it may have been a little bit early by your standards, I think he might have sprung him for 6.
And that was a blatant pick. Grabbed him.
9th play of the drive. Both teams of 3 and out in their first possession. Now an impressive drive for USC. Kenny Young made the tackle on Justin Davis. And the emphasis on the running game under Clay Helton in evidence on this drive. Whoa. Davis upended by Jayon Brown, the junior from Long Beach.
Just watching Jayon, the thing that stood out on film with Jayon is his instincts. He understands how to sneak through that pile and get low and disappear, then shoot the gap. Outstanding job of bringing him down.
They lost Miles Jack for most of the year. Eddie Vanderdoes, a defensive lineman, one of the best in the country, a mid-round draft pick projection, and Fabian Moreau, a defensive back who projects as a late-round pick. 3 NFL players, one at each level of the defense, but they're still playing to win the Pac-12 South today. Big 3rd and 6 upcoming, and Clay Helton, who doubles as the offensive coordinator, calls a timeout.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers. Kay Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. John Hancock, when life comes, let John Hancock help you prepare for it. And Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Well, look inside both locker rooms if you pay close attention. Both teams wearing their home jerseys. For several decades in this rivalry, from 1957 to 82, that happened every year, and then the NCAA dictated that the visiting team must wear white. 2008, the 2 coaches in this rivalry, Pete Carroll, Rick Neuheisel, got together, decided to go back to the old tradition. As the visiting team, USC, was penalized a timeout of the kickoff. UCLA immediately called the timeout, so it was fair and even. Then the NCAA changed the rule in 09 and said it was okay for the teams to both wear the dark jerseys. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would like to see the numbers in the blue jerseys.
Yeah, UCLA's numbers with this get up a little tough for our spotter, Zachary Padrazone. Ronald Jones, the ball carrier. Interesting call there, 3rd and 6. They went to a running play that didn't get anywhere near the marker, and Clay Helton sends the field goal team on.
And it is interesting. I mean, you have such an efficient quarterback with Cody Kessler. I think he felt like they were running the ball effectively, and getting Ronald Jones out in space to the edge would have been productive, and UCLA did a good job of stopping.
Alex Wood didn't kick last week in their last game, bothered by concussion symptoms. Back in action, clear-headed, and good from 30 yards for the first points of the game. USC leads UCLA 3-0, nearly midway through the first quarter. Celebrating its 11th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. Matt Bormeister kicks off for USC. He's from a UCLA family. His dad, Pete, was a fine kicker for the Bruins, doing their top 10 all-time in scoring. Roosevelt Davis got lit up as he approached the 20. There is a flag down. Barry Ruffin leading the kickoff coverage team for USC.
During the return, personal foul, face mask. kicking team number 40. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Well, you love
Ruffin, who got called for the face mask.
You love the effort and the speed covering, and just comes a little high right here. Ruffin's coming into your pitcher, was getting knocked and stuck his arm out and grabbed a little of the face mask. That's effort, though. You want that. Look at it, it fires everybody up.
Clay Helton, this is the second time he has been the interim coach for USC. Back in 2013, he took over for their bowl game in Las Vegas, a win over Fresno State. Josh Rosen handed off to Paul Perkins, having his second consecutive 1,000-yard-plus season. Elijah Tucker made the tackle at linebacker for the Trojans.
A little bit of change of strategy for the Trojans on their front four. Normally they're a three-man front because the quarterback is not a threat running. They're playing a four-man front and offsetting the two inside guys.
Perkins again, who is a redshirt junior, is already the third all-time leading rusher at UCLA, behind only Jonathan Franklin and Gaston Green.
He's a good little back. He's very productive at this level, shifty. And this is where the game's going to be won, Sean. For UCLA, they have to be able to beat man coverage because USC will challenge them all day. They're up in press coverage, and the matchup that I would expect is right here. Duarte on Cravens, number 21.
USC brought pressure, didn't get there, and Rosen's on target for first down into USC territory. Darren Andrews with Adoree Jackson in coverage, a gain of 15.
Well, they moved Adoree Jackson to play safety or play over the inside receiver, plus to Andrews, who ran an outstanding dig.
A major change this week. Jackson's been a corner. They've moved him to safety to get better man-to-man defenders on the field. Keemon Seymour has moved in at the cornerback position. Paul Perkins, the ball carrier, tackled by Antoine Woods. And the Bruins go quickly on 2nd and 5. The fake to Perkins and the throw out wide to Darren Andrews. And he's out of bounds just shy of the first down.
And again, against 3 and 4 receivers, essentially he's still playing cornerback, that is Jackson, that is. And what they're doing, as you mentioned, Sua Cravens is covering the bigger of the 2 slot receivers, which has been Duarte, and then Jackson is covering the smaller single receiver like this. He moves to the outside.
3rd down and 1. Paul Perkins dropped for a loss. Delvon Simmons, the transfer from Texas Tech, leading that defensive front for USC.
But what a get off right here by Simmons, coming in on a slant and getting penetration and beating the blocker to the point of contact. That's outstanding, and that's all set up by your get off on the snap.
They lost a couple, and Jim Moore sends the punt team on. Matt Mengel, who has struggled a lot of the season, but came out of that slump at Utah. And this is a beauty. It'll be downed inside the 2-yard line. Jayon Brown, the starting linebacker, down there to down it. 38-yard punt. Tonight on ABC, the Jiffy Lube rivalry series continues. It's the 106th edition of Bedlam, and one of the most important meetings all time between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, both in the top 11, battling for the Big 12 title and the Bell Clapper Trophy. That's tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Saturday Night Football presented by Walmart on ABC. You would think in Oklahoma when their Todd and Chris cements an appearance in the college football playoff.
Yeah, the way they've been playing and balanced both offensively and defensively, solid on both sides.
From their own 2, Justin Davis, the ball carrier. He powers out across the 8-yard line. Ely Anku made the tackle for UCLA.
You know, I love the fact that Clay Helton, I mean, he kind of old school and committed to running the football. Anytime you can run the football against anybody, it helps you become more balanced in offense. And when he took the job, as you mentioned, Sean, I think that was his #1 priority.
Khalil Rogers back in at center. Kessler in trouble, throws, and it's an incomplete pass along the near sideline. The catch made out of bounds by Jaleel Pinner. Todd, Khalil Rogers playing the 2 shoulders that keep popping out.
Right, which has been an issue for him in the shotgun snaps. I do know he went off for one series. He must have injured his right ankle. They retaped his right ankle. He's back in. And Juju Schuster-Smith, who's had trouble, as we talked about, with the hand, he does not have a cast on. He's just tightly wrapped on both arms right now.
And that's a change. He's been playing with a cast the last few weeks since the surgery. Kessler nowhere to throw it, trying to run for the marker, and he got popped way short of the first down, short of the 10. Isaako Savinaya made the tackle, the backup linebacker from Hawaii.
It's a right idea by Kessler. Everybody was covered downfield, didn't try to force the ball. Did a good decision of protecting that football, taking a shot and punts, not a bad play on this situation.
Chris Alvarado punts. Devin Fuller signals for a fair catch and makes it. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line. 44-yard punt. So many memorable games in this rivalry. 1967, known as the game of the century. One of the most famous runs in college football history. This 64-yard jaunt, a game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter from O.J. Simpson, as the fourth-ranked Trojans beat the top-ranked Bruins 21-20, and USC went on to win the national championship.
It's a great rivalry. Growing up watching this game every Saturday.
Four-man rush. Josh Rosen has time, has a receiver. Devin Fuller came back to the football and then advanced it for 11 yards and a first down. Gave up the first down for a moment as he circled back, but then got it with the run after the catch.
Advanced beyond his years, using his eyes to move safeties, getting his feet married to his shoulders to delivering strikes.
All Perkins as they go quickly. Flag down in the secondary. Chris Hawkins, the safety, made the tackle. Good for another first down if it stands. The field judge threw the flag. Steve Strimling is the referee.
Substitution violation on the defense. 12th player did not get off the field. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That's what tempo will do to you. Try to get matchups and favorable matchups. Try to get too many people on there. UCLA will exploit it.
13-yard gain. Rosen the play fake. He throws for the end zone and it's incomplete, just out of the reach of Jordan Payton, the all-time leading receiver in UCLA history, senior from Santa Monica.
Well, Jordan Payton, obviously 194 career catches. Right there, the ball's thrown well where he's going to get it or nobody's going to get it, and it's not inconceivable, Sean, that he makes that catch. He's that good of a player.
And Morris says Payton is as dependable as they get, a special player. 2nd and 10 for Rosen all day. Now flush from the pocket and takes off running, and he's very near a first down inside the 20. They'll spot it just inside the 18, about a half-yard short, and another 3rd and short for UCLA.
And this is the difference with Rosen from early in the year to now. He's learned to just tuck that ball and run. He's a good athlete, great high school tennis player. Against BYU, he had 3 interceptions, could have had a 4th, much better decision maker.
Takes the run, throwing toward the end zone on 3rd and 1, and it's broken up. Intended again for Jordan Payton, and very well covered by Iman Marshall. Iman had a tough week in that loss at Oregon last Saturday.
Well, what he's doing this week, what he did not do last week, better eye to discipline, not looking back at the quarterback, staying disciplined and trusting his training and his techniques. That's why he was in great position to knock it away.
Jim Mora has the offense on the field, going for it on 4th and 1 with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Bruins down 3-0. First down, Paul Perkins, touchdown. Looked like he might fall down short of the first down marker. Instead, he winds up in the end zone. 19 yards, and the Bruins take the lead.
The shiftiness of Paul Perkins made a man miss right in the hole right here. Hutchins, number 19, misses the open field tackle, and the great balance of Perkins. You work on that drill every day in practice as a running back, and it paid off in the biggest rivalry of the year.
A tremendous balance, because if he doesn't stay on his feet, they turn it over on downs. Extra point is good from Kaimi Fairbairn. UCLA trying to beat USC for the 4th year in a row. Leads 7-0. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay back at the LA Coliseum, where UCLA leads USC 7-3. Magnificent touchdown run by Paul Perkins. 19 yards to end a 6-play, 52-yard drive. Kaimi Fairbairn kicks off. Couple of kickoffs today from Fairbairn. Both have been returnable, but not very far. Dory Jackson wrestled down shy of the 15-yard line.
Actually, not a bad defense. Hutchins, number 19, is on block, Sean. He's got to make a play in the hole, but we told you of the shiftiness of Paul Perkins. Hutchins drops his head, does not wrap his arms, and Perkins makes him miss and goes into the end zone, executing the balance drill, which running backs work on every day in practice, of using that hand to keep their balance and keep moving forward. Just poor execution by Hutchins.
1,219 this year, 1,575 last year, the second best single season in UCLA history, behind only Jonathan Franklin's 1,700 plus in 2012. Ronald Jones turns the corner out to the 18-yard line, a gain of 4. Back in the studio, here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Sean. Taco Bell studio update. Michigan State needs a win, and they're in the Big Ten title game. Connor Cook, back after missing the last game with a shoulder injury, connects with R.J. Shelton for 29 yards. They missed the extra point. Sparty up 6-0 over on ESPN. Back to you guys.
All right, Cassidy, huge game there, obviously, for the Spartans. Major implications for Ohio State as well. Kessler trying to set up a screen. It was very well defended by UCLA. Deion Hollins was putting the heat on Kessler, who threw it away. 3rd down and 6. Kessler, a 3rd-year starter. He's 0-2 against UCLA the last 2 years. The Bruins, the only team that he has faced multiple times that he has not defeated at least once. He's 2 for 6 passing for 9 yards. We're running out of time. Running out of time again. Throws it deep, up for grabs, and almost caught. Intended for Stephen Mitchell. In those 2 losses the last 2 years, Kessler sacked 6 times in each of them, and that's the career high for number of times he's been sacked in a game. So he's used to being chased around by the blue shirts.
Just an excellent job of playing matchup zone, locking down on receivers. Nowhere for Kessler to throw it.
3 and out for USC, and the punt by Chris Alvarado. Fair catch, Devin Fuller. Good field position again for UCLA, their own 41-yard line. 41-yard punt. Heard the announcement perhaps in the background. Ronald Jones, with his last run, has set the USC freshman single season rushing record. More than 800 yards. Broke a mark set by Charles White in 1976. Of course, White went on to win a Heisman Trophy during his Trojan career. Nate Stark's in it, running back now for UCLA, and he's to the 47-yard line. A gain of 6 on 1st down.
Justin Wilcox called this a RPO team, meaning run, play, action, pass, and they're setting it up. If they can keep running Perkins in the middle, they'll pull it and throw deep.
Rosen gave it to Starks, who picked his way ahead to the 49. 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Uchenna Nwosu made the tackle. Backup linebacker for the Trojans.
Where you want to blitz if you're USC. If you're going to play man and you want to bring pressure to take away those inside running lanes. Third and 2. Starks driven back.
Greg Townsend leading the defensive surge that time, the fifth-year senior from right here in Los Angeles.
Again, Greg Townsend is going to be number 93 in your picture, and he's going to beat inside. Take a look. Just it's all about the get up, Sean. Anytime you there he is coming, excuse me, from the top right, beating his man inside.
Matt Mingle punts again, and will go out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Dory Jackson let it bounce. We'll mark it right on the 15. 37-yard kick. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Goodyear. Whether you're going for it from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. Goodyear, more driven.
Good answer by the Trojan defense after giving up 7. Pretty decent field position. Forced the punt.
Trey Madden, the running back, on first down for USC. Cody Kessler. Play action pass. Has a man wide open. Juju Smith-Schuster knocked down across the 40-yard line.
All set up by protection, Todd.
And when you give him a little bit of time, this is where he's at his best. You see the play action, loves working off the play action, gets to the top of his drop, open receiver, and very accurate. I think one little thing that goes unnoticed or undervalued with Kessler is the yards after catch that he provides his receivers, because he hits those short intermediate throws right on target.
Never have to work for the football. Catch it in stride and get going upfield, north and south.
28-yard gain. Trey Madden. Well, it could be the last play of the first quarter. They don't have to snap it again. Madden to the 47. Randall Goforth, the safety, made the stop for UCLA. And they won't snap it again here in the first quarter.
Leo Rogers, Sean, the center, went out again. Nico Fala back in when we start.
End of the first quarter, UCLA 7, USC 3 on a gorgeous day in Southern California. Back in Los Angeles and on to the second quarter in the 85th meeting all time between UCLA and USC. The Bruins leading 7-3 at the end of one quarter. USC ball, 2nd and 6. Trojans at their own 47. Ronald Jones ahead for a first down. Matt Dickerson wrapped him up. Jones, with the single season freshman rushing record now at USC, adds to that total with a 7-yard run.
And he's only going to get better as he develops patience and understanding of the blocking schemes. That's when he'll really excel. Not that he's not excelling now, but I'm talking about he has superstar potential.
We're in a 10.37 100 meters in high school from McKinney, Texas. One of 15 true freshmen to play this year for USC. Kessler steps up into the pocket, throwing a deep ball, has an open receiver, and it's caught inside the 15-yard line by Juju Smith-Schuster. He got behind Nate Metters.
Just a double move, and there's nobody better in the country on double moves than Juju Smith-Schuster. Nate Metters, the true freshman, started last week against Oregon, played well, couldn't keep up with him there.
Ronald Jones, the ball carrier, ahead for 2. Let's go back to the catch for a moment. It looked like he might be juggling it. And again, playing with the injured right hand. So frustrated after a drop at Colorado, he went in at the half and tried to cut the cast off his hand. And Clay Helton had to go over and tell him, you're not going to do that. First and foremost, we're going to protect your own physical well-being.
That's a guy you want on your team, though, man. Willing to cut off cast. I love it.
Dory Jackson on the field now for offense. Primarily a defensive back. He is the three-way threat, defense, offense, and special teams. Kenny Young dropped him at the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 8. They can get another first down at the 2.
That's a nice job too. I don't want to go unnoticed. Ishmael Adams at 5'9" came up and stuffed the edge blocker, forcing that ball back into Kenny Young. Clay Helton has a tough call to make.
He said Adoree Jackson would play more offense today than he has. Week to week, they've tried to limit the offensive exposure because they want to be rested on defense. But they're playing for a Pac-12 South title today. The winner goes to the championship game against Stanford next week. Kessler on 3rd and 8 throws short for the tight end Taylor McNamara, who's short of the first down inside the 3.
Well, my idea here is I've been able to run the football inside all day. I'm going for it. You're coaching for your job. Do what you have to do to get the win. Ronald Jones, north and south.
They go quickly to the line. They are lining up to go for it on 4th down and 1, and now Clay Helton wants a timeout.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers.
Back at the Coliseum, UCLA leading 7-3. USC with the offense again back on the field, going for it on 4th down and short from the 3-yard line. 4th and about a yard. Trey Madden, the running back. He gets the call, bowls into the line, and appeared to surge across the 2 for the first down.
There's something to be said about rivalry games and guys giving the extra effort and fighting the claw. And Trey Madden will not be denied. The second effort as we see an injured Bruin on the field. Watch the second effort. First of all, pretty good push up front. And Trey Madden runs into his own guys, but understands the urgency of the situation, pushing and clawing forward to get the first.
The injured player is Kenny Clark. When we spoke with Clay Helton yesterday, Clark was the #1 concern on that UCLA defense for the Trojan offense. He is a disruptive force on that defensive line for the Bruins.
You know what USC coaches are thinking? Okay, they see Kenny Clark go out, his substitute comes in. That's where you attack. Just like when a corner gets injured, you go right at that substituted player.
And Jim Mora, when we talked to him the other day, was worried about his run defense to begin with. They came in ranked 83rd in the FBS versus the run, and the way that USC's been running the ball effectively, they thought that was going to be a big area that they had to win in order to get out of here with a victory.
And now Ta'awa has come in, number 35, redshirt freshman. Trey Madden down to the goal line. I mentioned he hasn't played the last 3 weeks with that very sore knee, but giving it his best today in these short yardage and goal line situations. He's their best short yardage back at 225 pounds. They get up quickly to the line, inches from the goal line. Cody Kessler. Touchdown, USC.
Great surge by the Trojan offensive line.
Alex Wood on to add the extra point. Redshirt junior from Mercer Island, Washington, former walk-on kicker, now on scholarship. 85 yards in 10 plays, 2 long completions to Juju Smith-Schuster of 28 and 34 yards.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, experts around every corner to help you leave worry behind. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And the 2016 Ford Explorer, be unstoppable.
UCLA Bruins with their pep rally on their campus not far away in Westwood. Battle for bragging rights in Los Angeles and much more. The Pac-12 South Division title at stake today. And the winner will advance to play Stanford down in Santa Clara, or up in Santa Clara, California, for the Pac-12 championship next Saturday. Impressive drive for the Trojans. Their first touchdown drive of the game. Matt Bormeister to kick off. Roosevelt Davis, the deepest for UCLA. He has a chance to bring it back from the goal line. Big hole in the center of the field. And he's stacked up at the 24.
As our good friend Trent Dilfer would say, Josh Rosen is playing at a 401 level right now, which is obviously surprising considering he's a true freshman. How about the eye manipulation early on, going from one side to the next and then being ready to pull the trigger? So he had to bring his feet with him. And then, as we talked about earlier, the poise, staying in the pocket, waiting for his receivers to get open, but when the pressure comes, the athleticism to get out, and then just the presence of mind to tuck the ball and run rather than force a throw down the field.
He handed it off to Paul Perkins, and he gets dropped for about a 3-yard loss on first down. Greg Townsend again with excellent penetration. The son of Greg Townsend, the 4-time All-Pro defensive end in the National Football League with the Raiders and the Eagles.
Yeah, right now the defensive line for the Trojans, Townsend and Simmons, both are having great get off, and they're getting their inside gaps. And the offensive linemen for the Bruins are not getting out of their stance.
Rosen deep near sideline, and caught. Was it in bounds? Yes, say the officials at the 50-yard line. Thomas Duarte, a big gainer.
Well, first of all, it's a matchup that they like. They have a tight end / wide receiver and a linebacker / safety, and that ball was perfectly placed.
27-yard gain. They go back to the run, and nothing doing there for Paul Perkins.
Left foot inbounds. Sean, these are easy reads for Josh Rosen too, because of what SC is doing defensively. They're playing man, so he has to pick in his mind a matchup that he likes and go to it.
Rosen far sideline, too high. Intended for Duarte again. We're talking with the UCLA coaches. Jim Moore, the offense coordinator, Noel Mazzoni, said during the week that no game is too big for Josh Rosen. As a matter of fact, the bigger the game is, the more he thrives as a true freshman. This is the biggest game of his college career so far, and he throws a rocket for a first down to the 34-yard line. Jordan Payton, first down, Bruins.
And his timing's so good as a passer right now, getting the ball out on time, and that allows him to throw to the spot where his receiver needs to be rather than where he is.
17-yard gain. Perkins trying to turn the corner. Still on his feet. Second time today he's shown great balance. Doesn't look like it would yield nothing. Instead, it might be another first down for the Bruins inside the 25-yard line.
We love those running backs that play bigger than they are. That's Paul Perkins, fighting and clawing for everything he can get.
Second and short. Lots of running room outside to the right. And he has the first down inside the 20. Perkins limping as he gets up. And he'll come out.
Nate Starks, a capable backup this year, 261 yards on the year and 5 touchdowns. Take a spot.
Jim Moore wants to make sure the down. The previous play got them very close to the first down. It looked like it might even be a first down, but the officials didn't move the chains. And the indication was it was second down. Now they're going to confer on what the down should be.
He's done a great job. You look at what he's done and the injuries that they had to deal with, and they've been handling those injuries because his ability to recruit and get top-notch talent.
After the last play, the chains have moved. We're going to check with replay the previous down and distance.
Meanwhile, Kenny Lacy is limping off, the starting left guard. Redshirt sophomore from Phoenix. You mentioned the improved line play, Chris, over a year ago. Last year, after 11 games, the UCLA offensive line had given up 34 sacks, 112th in the nation. This year, only 11 sacks allowed, best in the Pac-12. Well, I was a little bit surprised after the Perkins run where he stayed on his feet, got very close to the first down, that they didn't at least look at the chains and figure out if it should be a first down. Referee Steve Strimling said the chains moved. I didn't think they did. Our yellow line moved.
Well, they should have.
See there, it looks like he's well inside the 24.
Yeah, this is the point right here. And second effort, and where he goes down is well past the first line marker inside the 24. Should have been 1st and 10 in that situation.
Doug Rhodes, longtime on-field official and former coordinator of officials for the ACC, is in the booth with us. Steve Strimling talking to Jim Northcott in the replay booth. How do they handle a situation like this, Doug?
Well, that's a mistake on the part of the chain crew. They're not supposed to move till the official signals, but this clearly is a first down.
And you can see, though, the chains didn't move. Steve Strimling said they did. I
don't know if they moved afterward, but clearly it's a first down, and they should have reset them.
And you can see on the marker on the far side in that last replay, they had actually put the marker to first down, and then he was flipping it back to second down as the ball was being snapped, because the chain people didn't move and they were under the impression it was second down.
Correct. They flipped the marker.
Currently, the chains are correct set. The previous play was a second down play, and we made a first down. It's 1st and 10.
All right, regardless, here we go. First down. That's something, you know, you look at the tempo and speed that UCLA operates. 117th ranked in time of possession. Everybody has to get used to that, including the chain gang. Got to keep up.
That's the kind of thing when you're on the move, you don't want to have that kind of a stoppage. Had some rhythm on offense, had the defense on its heels. Under 10 minutes to go in the half. Josh Rosen throws, end zone. The momentum continues with a touchdown. Thomas Duarte.
Well, that's the target, Sean. They like to match up Duarte, a wide receiver / tight end, more of a wide receiver, on Sua Cravens. And the coverage is pretty darn good right there. It's a double move, but the strength of Duarte pushes Cravens by and comes back to the football, and the trust of Rosen to put it back shoulder was a great read on both parties.
You know, a lot of true freshmen don't make that throw, with Duarte still not turned back toward him and pretty well covered as Rosen was delivering the ball. 19-yard touchdown pass. 10th touchdown of the year for Duarte, and Jamie Fairbairn adds the extra point. Back and forth they go in this rivalry game. UCLA recaptures the lead on an 8-play 76-yard drive.
You're watching ESPN College Football on ABC, presented by Kay Jewelers.
If you're out and about on this or any college football Saturday, don't miss any of the action while you're on the go. Stream any game live, download the Watch ESPN app, or go to watchespn.com.
Watching Ohio State beat their arch rival today, Michigan, on my Watch ESPN app. I think that's a team that a lot of Buckeye fans were waiting for to show up. The first time they showed up all year, quite frankly.
Yeah, maybe it took the loss to shake them out of their season-long doldrums. Kaimi Fairbairn kicks off. Adoree Jackson, Pac-12 long jump champion and also one of the best sprinters in the conference. Good coverage again by Adarius Pickett. He's been leading that kickoff coverage unit all day long. Aflac. Time for the Aflac trivia question. The win today would give UCLA 4 straight wins against the Trojans How many times have the Bruins won 4 or more consecutive games in this rivalry?
That's a tough one.
Jim Moore is trying to do it against his 4th different opposing head coach.
That certainly can be the case with USC about getting some stability in here.
Kenny Clark, as you see, back in on the defensive line. Khalil Rogers again, the center. Both have gone out of this game. Juju Smith-Schuster yanked down. Gain of about 6. Here's Cassidy Hubbarth back in the studio.
Thanks, Sean. Let's take a look at who's getting it done, presented by Wells Fargo. And Sparty adding to their lead over Penn State. Gerald Holmes, 6-yard run, puts Michigan State up 13-3 in the second. That's over on ESPN. And both Alabama and Auburn have kicked a pair of field goals, all tied up at 6 in the Iron Bowl.
And here in Los Angeles, battle for the victory bell. These two teams have gone back and forth. Right now it's UCLA with a 4-point lead. Ronald Jones carries very close to the first down, about a half-yard short.
Swinging an offensive tackle over the tight end side up to the right. That's where they go.
And Jones has the first down. Out to the 34-yard line.
Chad Wheeler switches from his tackle position to tight end. Now, when you see an offense do that, the correct adjustment for the defense would be to slant everybody toward that tendency, or have everybody move over one man so you're balanced and you can handle the pulling guard and have enough people to defend.
Cody Kessler throws. Good throw and a good catch in traffic. First down, they're going to mark it at the 49-yard line. Stephen Mitchell the grab.
USC's receivers initially struggled to get open, so Kessler went from his left side back to his right. And just talking about a tough quarterback, hanging in there, staring down the gun barrel. That defender was closing on him and knocked him down right as he was making that tough throw.
You know, and the courage, Todd, to throw into that tight window.
Yes.
17-yard gain. Whistle before the snap.
That's what I like about quarterbacks, Sean, that aren't afraid
First
to make
charge,
that tough
timeout,
throw.
UCLA.
Time to answer the Aflac trivia question. The Bruins, with a win today, would defeat USC for the 4th year in a row. We want to know how many times UCLA has won 4 or more consecutive games in this rivalry. The answer is once, 8 straight in the 90s. The first 5 under Terry Donahue, legendary UCLA coach. He retired, and then Bob Toledo won his first 3.
He was a great coach, Coach Donahue. Just tremendous. And a good analyst. Your partner.
Yeah. It's a great pleasure to work with him. A wonderful man, in addition to his coaching and broadcasting talents. Justin Davis, the ball carrier. Well, they're taking Khalil Rogers, the center, off the field now. He's tried a couple of times to go. Todd reported injured his ankle earlier. Nico Falah's in.
He's doing a really good job, Sean, not only on blocking, but executing when they do go shotgun snaps where Cody Kessler doesn't have to work.
Justin Davis spun around to the line of scrimmage, managed to keep moving forward to the 40. Isaako Savinaya made the tackle. 3rd down and 1, more than midway through the second quarter. USC on the move, trailing by 4. Kessler keeps for the first down.
Good tempo right now by USC, and what a luxury it has for Clay Helton as head coach and offensive coordinator to have 3 productive running backs with burst that hit that hole with intentions.
With the injuries at center, now in their 4th string center, Cody Kessler said yesterday they've intentionally gone at a slower pace to make sure everything is lined up properly. Give that offensive line a bit more time and give him time to identify the mic at the line of scrimmage. Ronald Jones, the ball carrier. It's also given Cody, who's a very smart young man, he's already graduated, working toward a master's, a chance to do a little bit more at the line of scrimmage.
And he likes that because it gives him an opportunity to exert his leadership. And he's making the calls on the protections, and that helps a young center out and helps the offensive line. So he makes sure everybody's on the same page.
2nd and 7, Ronald Jones. Short gain, 3rd down. Todd, what do you think of Cody Kessler as he winds up his career and thinks about the NFL?
I think he fits perfectly in a West Coast-based type of system. He's outstanding with his accuracy and his decision-making, and outstanding specifically with accuracy short to intermediate. Now, he doesn't have a big-time arm, and so if you're playing a cold weather area or if you have a ground and pound with a vertical passing game to complement, I don't think he's a good fit. But I think somewhere in that second, probably 3rd round range, that Kessler will get some looks for the appropriate teams.
Hands it off to Trey Madden, who got belted. Sabinaya again in on the tackle for the UCLA defense. And another decision for Clay Helton. It's 4th down and about a yard from the 30-yard line. Field goal kicker Alex Woods Long is only 43.
Yeah, I love the call. And again, I think there's no decision to be made. I just want to think you want to make sure that you have the right call. Trey Madden, excellent in short yardage. They've been successful running inside.
1 for 1 on 4th down today. He breaks through the defense inside the 20 and taken down inside the 13-yard line. Jaleel Wadu saved the touchdown.
Something to be said about vision. He had a pulling guard. He cut it up behind the pulling guard. Instead of following the pulling guard, he's going to cut back inside. Right here, look at the vision. Bam, right there, and the burst through the hole, Sean. That's great vision and patience by Trey Madden. And again, the luxury of having 3 backs and all 3 do something a little special.
They got to the line quickly. A false start called on Chad Wheeler, the left tackle. Trey Madden gained 18 yards. Clay Helton yesterday called him a chain mover, and he's done that a couple of times today. He's the grandson of the former All-Pro running back Lawrence McCutcheon.
Great player for the Rams, wasn't he?
He sure was. So he's a 5th-year senior. Stays in the game on 1st and 15, and Jayon Brown took him down. We were here early in the year when they were 2-0, lost to Stanford, and they were playing at a very fast pace under Steve Sarkisian.
I like the idea that you slow it down. I think it gives your guys a chance to rest. Your defense was young. You were struggling a little bit early on. It keeps them off the field. It was a great call by Clay Helton, and I love the fact that he went back and committed to running the football no matter what.
End zone, cornered, incomplete. Marcus Rios had the coverage on Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well, I love the discipline on the takeoff route or on the fade. First of all, eye discipline. Never looks back to the quarterback. Gets away with a little shove. Then when the receiver looks back, he looks back, then plays through the hands. That's outstanding discipline in coverage by Rios.
And a great job by Rios, even earlier too, studying the eyes of the receiver. And once he sees those eyes brighten up, then that's when he knows he's got to get his hand up or get his head around, one of the two. And he's done both today.
Good size out there too at 6 foot. Helps cover those big wide receivers.
3rd down and 12. Look out. Kessler under duress sets up a screen. Madden belted from behind, and he's short of the 1st down. Kenny Clark made the tackle.
It's a composure right there that we talk about with Kessler, knowing that he's going to get hit, but delivers a catchable ball on the screen pass. And if it weren't for the great effort by Kenny Clark coming from the nose guard position, he would have been the chain mover.
Aaron Wallace came on a blitz untouched, and Kessler had just enough time to get it off on that screen. So here's Alex Wood, 1 for 1 today, 11 out of 15 for the season, connected from 30. This is little more than an extra point, although from a bit of an angle, and he's good from 21 yards. 14-13 UCLA as we approach the half. Tomorrow morning on ESPN, get your post-Thanksgiving NFL Sunday started off on the right foot. 10 a.m. Eastern Time. NFL Insiders, all the latest headlines and breaking news. And then at 11, the Countdown crew will be joined by some special guest analysts, Josh Norman and Thomas Davis from the undefeated Carolina Panthers. They'll break down the Week 12 games, NFL Insiders, and then NFL Countdown starting at 10 tomorrow on ESPN.
Sean, if you're USC on this defensive possession, I don't know if you want to play man, because if you play tight man, you're vulnerable against a deep ball with 2:47 to go in the first half.
Matt Bormeister kicks off, short and returnable for Roosevelt Davis. They ran into a crowd at the 23-yard line. Here's a look at our first Pacific Life game summary of the day. Cody Kessler 8 out of 14 for 110. Also rushed for a touchdown.
Making good decisions throughout the game. Josh Rosen again continues to shine. The more he plays, the better he gets. Uses his eyes, uses every part of the field, makes it tough on a defense to defend.
Rosen back out there with a 1-point lead. Inside play fake, blasted as he throws, deflected up in the air and incomplete. Trying to get it to Thomas Duarte.
Better job by Cravens right there, and man, not looking back, staying disciplined and going up and playing the hands of a tough guy to guard. Duarte's good size. They're playing that man.
As Justin Wilcox said they would, they come after Rosen, who just did get rid of it.
Incomplete, third down.
They're playing to win right here, and again, they come with a 5-man pressure man in a 2-minute situation. That's trusting your guys and your athletes, saying we're better than them, we'll cover them, because you're all vulnerable to something over the top.
Neither team has had a sack yet. Michael Hutchings, the linebacker, came close, and they have one here. Rosen got rid of it, but he's ruled down. It's a sack. Scott Felix, the linebacker.
Well, they've been having trouble handling inside moves from the outside all day, Sean. We saw Townsend make an inside move. Now you're going to see number 47, Scott Felix, make an inside move on a backup tackle right there for UCLA, number 77, Colton Miller.
And he's got to be careful, Rosen. These last 2 plays in the grass, that last one, the one before, throwing it up for grabs a little bit more than we've seen.
Yeah, that was almost a bad mistake. Adoree Jackson is loose. Adoree Jackson's in the end zone. Touchdown. No flags on the punt return. Well, entering today, UCLA had given up the fewest punt return yards in the country, in part because Mengel's punts are typically pretty short. The opponents haven't been returning them. They had given up 6 punt return yards all season. Only 6 of his punts had been returned for an average of 1 yard. That 34-yard punt was taken back 42 yards by Adoree Jackson, who had a punt return for a touchdown last week in their loss up at Oregon.
The problem, not only is it short, but it's on a line drive. So that does not give your coverage team time to get there. You do get there, you got to make a tackle, not run in and block him like Cameron Judge did. He didn't even wrap his arms, and Adoree Jackson gets in space on the punter. That's 100 out of 100. He's going to win that one. But again, watch, Cameron Judge had a chance to make the play, does not, and you get good blocks downfield by the Trojans. Makes a move on the punter, and it's over.
And you can see from that first angle behind Jackson, Bruins didn't have anybody on the coverage team near the sideline. Not very disciplined in covering their lanes, and Adoree Jackson took advantage.
If you're rugby punting, Sean, and one thing you're counting on is to kick it away from the returner, and Adoree Jackson read the rugby punt, the punt was low and off target. At the very least, when you have a guy like Adoree Jackson out there, you might want to think about kicking that ball out of bounds.
Jackson, as we mentioned earlier, the Pac-12 long jump champ. He was 7th in the 100 meters at 10.48. And he's given USC the lead. And Bornmeister's kickoff down to Roosevelt Davis. Trying to go all the way across the field and picks up some blocks. The kicker made the tackle. Bornmeister just across the 25-yard line. Well, it's a punt return for a score for the second week in a row for Adoree Jackson, the sophomore from Belleville, Illinois.
It has speed, and to be a punt returner, first it takes courage. Second job, secure the football. Then you have a knack for finding and running in space and making people miss. Check them all. 3 for 3 for Adoree Jackson.
In his career, Jackson touchdowns by reception, a punt return, a kickoff return, an interception return. Nate Starks, after a slow start, got to the 29, chopped down by Sua Cravens, the junior, who does a little bit of everything for that USC defense, and he isn't sure if this will be his last home game. He hasn't made up his mind if he'll come out for the draft. Taking down near a minute to go in the half. Rosen's pass incomplete. Broken up along the far sideline by Isaiah Langley, a true freshman from Hayward, California, up in the Bay Area.
Boy, how about the coverage right now? Just challenging the UCLA receivers. Now, with UCLA has the adjustment they have to make at halftime, they have to put in some bunch routes and some different formations, because right now the SC athletes are better than the UCLA athletes out on the edge.
3rd and 7. 4-man rush, well blocked by UCLA, and the throw almost intercepted by Sua Cravens.
Flustered, frustrated right now for Josh Rosen. That ball was late and behind, and Sua Cravens almost had a pick 6. Now, he got beat by Duarte on a touchdown earlier where the coverage wasn't bad, but this time he's all over it, and that ball was late and behind. He's lucky that's not a pick 6.
Rosen's thrown 234 passes in a row now without an interception. That was almost the streak ender. Better punt this time by Matt Mengel, and Adoree Jackson called for a fair catch. They'll mark it at the 32. Tonight on ESPN, the Jiffy Lube rivalry series continues with the Sunshine State Showdown. 13th ranked Florida State in the Swamp to take on the 12th ranked Florida Gators for the Governor's Cup. That's ESPN's college football primetime, presented by Hilton. 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, and also streaming live on Watch ESPN.
I think Florida State will get its biggest test from an offensive standpoint against a very good Gator defense. They get after it and fly to the football.
Let's see how the Trojans play it here with under a minute to go in the half and 1 timeout left, but decent field position from their own 32. The veteran Kessler fires. Juju Smith-Schuster has a first down. Marcus Rios the tackle, a gain of 10, and USC goes quickly.
There's something to be said about trust. You can just tell Kessler loves to throw to him. I love how Schuster works back to the football, not waiting on it.
Kessler. Smith-Schuster out of bounds, short gain. Where the protection's been much better for Cody Kessler this year than it has been the last 2 against the Bruins, and when he has been hurried, he's done a great job of getting rid of the ball.
And that's where his growth has come. And decision making, accurate, it's almost 70%. And great skill around him. All they need is that protection, and he's getting it today.
4-man rush, again well blocked. He had a pocket to step into, and the pass incomplete. Trying to get it to Tyler Petit, a true freshman tight end. Trojan fans thought there was pass interference. Jaleel Wadu had the coverage.
Great job of Jaleel playing that seam route and closing down on that tight end. Cody tried to throw Petit open. Jaleel took a great angle to knock it away. Good player. Again, undersized but tough and competitive.
And a sophomore Wadu from here in Los Angeles, St. John Bosco High School. So many of these players know each other. They grew up playing with or against each other in youth football and high school football. We were in the Southern California area. Pass intended for Smith-Schuster, broken up by Randall Goforth.
Boy, when I have safety sitting like this, and Goforth does a great job of breaking. And remember, Smith-Schuster is one of the best at the double move, Sean. That's something maybe we could check out in the second half.
Chris Alvarado on to punt. Devin Fuller back deep for UCLA, and he makes a tumbling catch at the 24. So Bruins ball with only 16 seconds to go in the half. 30-yard punt by Alvarado, the fifth-year senior. Operating at a slower pace than they were at the beginning of the year under Steve Sarkisian. The time of possession strongly in favor of USC.
And another reason is they're establishing the ground game, and they're doing it consistently.
As you might expect, they play it conservatively. Nate Starks picks up a first down with a 12-yard run, chased across the boundary by Iman Marshall.
You're in field position here right now where you might want to take a shot downfield, maybe get a pass interference, get the ball, and have a chance for a 3.
Even a long field goal. They have one of the best kickers in the country in Kaimi Fairbairn, who has a 60-yarder earlier this year, the longest in school history. Josh Rosen out for the near side. Perkins, very short gain, out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. Adoree Jackson there for the USC defense.
And now you take a knee or just run it. Been a great first half. Guys playing with energy and toughness and excitement. Great setting.
Starks. Nate Starks. Nice run, but they're out of time. He brought it down to the 30-yard line to end the half. Entertaining first half, back and forth. The Bruins and the Trojans. Adoree Jackson, the punt return late in the half to give USC the lead at the break. Here's Todd McShay.
Well, Coach, it's 14-13. Kickoff, you get the big stop, they punt, and then the return. How big was that return by Adoree Jackson?
Huge in the game. Really a momentum swinger by a really special football player.
And then now early on, Rosen had some time and protection, but then you guys were able to get a little bit more pass rush. What's changed?
Yeah, really the key to the game is trying to get him off the spot. He's a really, really talented quarterback when he can stay in the pocket.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Interim coach Clay Helton, he'd like the job full time. A win today would be a big resume booster. Stay tuned for the halftime report right after these messages.